Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz. I'll be guiding you on this journey today. And I've gone back to making like little intro videos to put at the beginning of each reading. So that's what this is. And I'm stalling because I can't remember what I was actually going to say in this intro. Memory. Anyway, okay, here we go. It's all coming back to me now. Couple things. I am going to stick to just doing human design profile readings for the time being. I also am going to start doing readings by type as well. So, there'll be a reading for manifestors, there'll be a reading for projectors, there'll be a reading for generators and manifesting generators. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep those in one reading for now anyway, until I feel differently about it. And then reflectors as well. So I'm going to add those readings in, but I just, a little birdie told me to stick with those. And I think, honestly, in great part because those are the readings that I actually get like a response on, and there's more engagement in those readings that I put out. And that's what I want, and being a manifesting generator myself, right? It's responding. So, instead of doing the zodiac signs and the human design profile readings, at least for the next little while, I don't know how long that'll last until a birdie tells me to do differently. And obviously that birdie is like my intuition or like my own like personal guidance, right? But that's what I'm going to do for the time being. And I think like part of why I haven't necessarily done that sooner is because I really haven't been engaging with or like super I don't know, whatever the fucking word is. Like, how annoying is that? To not be able to find the right word. I just haven't been as in the realm of human design as I have been with astrology. Like I've been spending a lot of focus on just understanding astrology, and especially like my own astrology. And so I just really haven't been engaging with a lot of human design content. Like I really haven't been keeping on top of it. So as a 5/1, I think I just feel a bit insecure about making that the prominent thing. And I can't even say that's going to change. Like I'm not saying that like I'm going to start diving heavily back into human design just yet. I know the basics. I know all of the shit that like I did learn before. But yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth that I haven't been as on top of that as I have been on top of astrology. I mean, obviously, astrology is also included in like human design, but anyway, that would be getting into a bit of like semantics. So, from here on, for however long, I'm just going to stick to doing human design profile readings. The 333 readings are still available. Those are the only that's the only offering that I have right now. Like, I'm not doing longer form, or I'm not doing one-on-one like personal readings for the time being. I had a couple people email me about a personal reading, like a longer form personal reading, and I just don't feel called, or it just doesn't feel good for me to put energy into those for right now. For whatever reason, I mean, I do feel like I'm in this like transitionary phase, and I'm like literally in the middle of it, like that liminal space, and I just kind of feel like I need to kind of keep my energy like focused on whatever is going to unfold, like with that. And for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel good to offer, like I said, like anything basically beyond like those 333 readings. So, which is also like kind of scary, right? Like, because I'm like, ugh. I could use the money right now. I could use, really, ultimately, I could use the money right now. Like, that is the truth of it. I could use the money, but that is the only thing, like and that's not like a very good, that's not a motivator that like feels good, for me right now. So the capacity that I do have is, again, the 333 readings. The basics of that is that it's $3.33. You would Venmo me $3.33 and include your email address, and I will pull 2 cards for you. The first card would be the door, or that's basically the obstacle or the opportunity, or the thing that you are standing in front of, or the thing that you are coming up to in your life. And then the key would be the guidance or the advice, or how to work through that obstacle, or, rite of passage, or, whatever. And the readings that I have done on those so far, and thank you to those who have requested that offering, they have been so amazing and so cool. But it is a written reading, so you'll get a PDF with a picture of the tarot card. The interpretation that I have for it, and then any overall like thoughts or things that I kind of picked up on in those cards too. So again, like I said, the ones that I have done have been so amazing and so cool, just the way that things have unfolded. And, the people who have gotten those readings, there's been great feedback from those readings as well. So thank you also for that. And I'll put, of course, an explanation of that in the description. Yeah, really quick then, because this is long as hell all of a sudden. Let me just introduce the decks that we're going to be using. The tarot deck is the Wandering Moon Tarot, and the, I was going to say the affirmation deck, which I guess that it is, but the Oracle deck that we're going to be using is the Inner Fucking Peace deck, and my sister actually sent these cards to me. So, yeah, let's get into the reading. Great. So, this is a reading for the 1/4 human design profile. If you don't know what your human design profile is, there is a link in the description for you to get your human design body graph, and your profile will be listed on there. I'm not going to take that. Your type will be listed on there as well. For when I get around to doing those readings. I think I'm going to do them like once I'm done with the profiles. But yeah, let's get some cards out for you. And then of course we'll pull the affirmation card. For the 1-4, the investigator opportunist. And I only take the cards that actually fall out of the deck. I don't, if they flip in the deck, or if it's operator error, like, I don't take them because we want commitment over here. Babies, my little shoes. So yeah, the cards do have to come out of the deck. And they all know because we've all had one-on-one conversations about this very thing. For the 1-4s, what is the message for 1-4s? We have the 6 of Wands. That's a good start. 2 more cards. Two more. Two more cards for our 1-4s. Dude. That is too many. 2 more. Two more cards. The 10 of Wands, interesting. 1 more. Page of Stars, which is the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Magician at the bottom of the deck. And then let's get your affirmation card. Oop. Just one. Just one. How interesting. How interesting. Because this same card came out for the 1-3 reading. Out of 60 cards. How many cards? Let me see. Where? Oh, it's on the floor. 60 cards. And the same card comes out. But I think it has a different, of course, like, you know, obviously these cards are not the same from the 1-3 reading. So there's clearly a different vibe going on here. I kept hearing, I think it's a Girl Scout song. He's got the whole world in his hands. At least that's the only context that I know that song in. Like, he's got the itsy bitsy daisies, I think, in his hands. He's got the itsy bitsy daisies in his hands. And also, too, like as I was sitting here, and okay, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to say too many things at one time. It took forever to get your cards out. It's at almost 7 minutes now. I think I've only been talking for a minute. I think it might have taken 5 minutes. And part of me is like, do I cut that part out? Because who wants to watch shuffling for 5 minutes? Maybe what I'll do actually is I'll put a timestamp. Although, I mean, you wouldn't even hear me say this part until after all that shuffling, but I don't know, maybe I'll like also just put a graphic on the actual video. Anyway, it took forever. And sometimes that does happen, but also when that happens, I always do take it as part of the message that, you know, maybe there is something that, like some sort of recognition or actualization that has been delayed or has just been taking a long fucking time to see or to, you know, manifest in some capacity. And it's like having to remain diligent and patient too, which I am not patient. So even like, you know, when it does take a long time shuffling, it does like go through my head of like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this reading right now. Like maybe blah, 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 right? Like it's rarely, you know, eventually I come to the thought or, you know, whatever of being like, you know, it's got to be part of the message. That usually comes at the end, though. It doesn't necessarily like in the middle of it when I'm losing my patience or I'm like questioning what I'm doing. Do I rarely think, no, like it just means that there's something that is slow moving in the experience of the person that I'm meditating for. And also the other side of this card says it's better than sitting around doing nothing. And then meditate is on the other side. I mean, with the Six of Wands, I mean, wands in general, we can assume that you have not been sitting around doing nothing. And maybe if you are in the middle, or if you are in a process where something is just taking its sweet time, or that you haven't gotten the recognition that you want, but you know, like there's still something that you're taking action towards, then like there's something, it's like even if you are just keeping your mindset, holding the goal, right? Like holding the desired outcome in your vision. You know, like even like I was saying about continuing to shuffle the cards, right? Like staying diligent, staying with it. Even if your brain is like, should I should I be doing this? Because what we have on the table at least is motivation, action, creativity, passions, and then the physical manifestation of them. Like, you know, the practical steps, even being new, because pages are the newbies, right? Like I call the Page of Pentacles specifically the apprentice, because it's allowing yourself to be new at something. So even though, or I mean, you know, if something just has not been showing up in the way that you want it to, right? Because also we all have an idea of how we want things to show up, right? Like how we want our manifestations to show up. And if it doesn't exactly happen that way, then sometimes we miss it, or we don't attribute that manifestation, actually occurring because it didn't occur like in a specific way. The other thing that was really interesting as I was like looking at these two cards is that in the Six of Wands, these crystals are still, or these wands, I guess, I mean, they look like crystals to me, so I'm going with that, are in the ground here, right? And they're standing on top of this hill. It feels like finding a gold mine. It feels like, stumbling onto something. And it could be even one of those things of like, if you have been searching for your thing, all of the actions that you have taken prior to now, or prior to stumbling upon this gold mine, those are the decisions, those actions have gotten you here. Making those decisions, again, like holding the vision and then taking aligned action towards those things. And then continuing to do that, anytime there's a new decision or a new path or whatever, that opens up, it's, making a decision that is, again, in alignment with the vision that you have for yourself, for your future, what success looks like to you, what recognition looks like to you, what victory looks like to you. And this is telling me that you do like stumble upon it. Or, I just like kind of heard in my head, like, why do you keep saying stumbled upon? And I'm just like, good question. Why do I keep saying stumbled upon? Because, no, like this would be like you were putting in the action, right? This isn't just, oops, like, look what I found, right? Like, no, like this is, you have been doing it. You have been, looking for or striving for. They're, even standing on top of this mountain or this hill, like you had to walk up that shit, training, conditioning, even with the Page of Pentacles over here. Maybe it was something new that you started. Like, again, you allowed yourself to be new at something, or you allowed yourself to take apply for positions outside of your career field. You decided to get a certificate or go back to some sort of schooling, or, switching career fields altogether. Even, lifestyle changes could be in there as well. Your day-to-day routines, like how you nourish your body, how you move your body as well. It's interesting too that we have this 10 of Wands here in the middle. And what's also interesting is that for one, it's in the middle, and for two, because of the imagery on this card, we have a hand coming out from the right side. We have a hand coming out from the left side. I mean, there's 5 wands or 5 crystals in each hand, but it's like, to me, the way that it's looking is that this hand, one hand is coming out from the Page of Pentacles, one hand is coming out from the 6 of Wands. And, the 10 of Wands generally does talk about burden and feeling burnt out. It's a 10. So there is a level of completion with the 10s. So if you have felt burnt out, if you have felt, burdened, or overwhelmed, in some capacity, I also see wands as being information by way of experience. Which just means that, like, by taking action, you get information. You figure out what works, what doesn't work, what do you like, what don't you like. It's life lessons, it's skill building, it's wisdom too. So, when we get to the 10, it's really almost like packing up all that experience that you have, recognizing the potential for burnout or, burden. And it could be delegating, getting stuff off of your plate, delegating it to other people. It could be, of course, too, like, recognizing that your skill and your wisdom could be better used or better utilized in a different job or with a different, organization, or to like just transferable skills. Like we're never ever starting from scratch, right? Like we're starting from experience. So even if you are, interested in a different field, I mean, sure, like maybe you have to learn the workings and procedures and, all of the things within that field, but you still have your own experience to draw from. It's just a matter of like learning new software, like learning new processes or again, like if you're going back to school or like getting a certificate or something, like you still have all of your prior knowledge to draw from. And I don't know if I actually did say this like completely or fully, but in the Six of Wands, these crystals are in the ground, and in the Ten of Wands, they're now in their hands. Right? So it goes from, finding the thing to then it being something that is literally within your grasp. And I also love too that we have the Magician at the bottom of the deck, because this is literally saying that you have exactly what you need in order to do the thing. Like whatever it is that you want to begin, you have what you need in order, to do that. Because a lot of the times we tend to get stuck in, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough resources, I don't have enough energy, whatever it is, right? And it's like, when the perfect time comes, and truly, like there really is no perfect time. As much as we want there to be, and believe me, I want there to be, but the perfect time is now. Like there's that saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. It's like that. There really is no better time than now. And also too, like the resources, whatever you need that you potentially lack will show up for you at the exact time for the exact purpose that you need it. I always bring up Harry Potter with the Magician card because I always like think of the Sword of Gryffindor. And, in Harry Potter, the Sword of Gryffindor shows up to exactly the person who needs it for the exact purpose that they need it at the exact moment in time that they need it for. Right? And then it somehow like makes its way onto whatever, like whatever's next or whatever, like that's a Magician card for me. Like in this moment, you found these wands, you found, maybe the motivation, maybe there is some sort of recognition that you are receiving that is just really kind of giving you a sense of confidence. Maybe with this 10 of Wands here, you're just kind of like, I'm a little burnt out. I have, a lot on my plate, or there's just maybe two different, things like pulling at you, since like I said, there's these two hands in here. But it's almost like I don't even know if I finished this thought. I do that a lot. But, there's this one card that's coming out from the left, and on the left side of the 10 of Wands is the 6 of Wands. And then at the card that's coming out from the right side, we have the Page of Pentacles. And it almost even feels like, you have this idea in your head, like you want to be successful at it. You want to find this gold mine, right? And the burden or the thing that could be causing some sort of like hesitation could be the fact that maybe you would have to be new at it. Like maybe there is some aspect that like you would have to put some resources or invest, your time, your money, your physical presence, your energy into developing, right? Like that could certainly be a thing. And with this affirmation card here, it's better than sitting around doing nothing. I mean, truly, like if you are just hanging out, and if you are just resting, and that could even be what meditating is about too. It's like, listening to your own inner guidance for where would you even start? Like, what would be your first step? Maybe it's just Googling something, and then from there, you just kind of go down a rabbit hole. And, eventually you get all this information, which, is definitely wands. Although, I mean, I think swords is probably more internet. I don't know. But you get all this information and eventually, like just by putting the time in, by investing your time into it, because you're just hanging out anyway, and instead of doom scrolling, like just take a little breaky poo between doom scrolls, Google some things, or even like while you're doom scrolling, like Google or, search for whatever the thing is, because no doubt there's probably videos on it already. Or, just in some other like capacity, that's what I've been doing lately too. Like I was doing it on TikTok. I'm just kind of, like TikTok changed owners, right? And now it's fucking weird. So I just need to like break the habit of being on TikTok. But I'll use the search function like I do Google. And also like on Google, I will put like Reddit behind whatever I'm Googling so that I can read like real people's experience in whatever thing I'm Googling. But it's just, it's small steps. It's doing what you can with the energy that is available, to you, because it is saying here that you have the exact amount of whatever it is that you need to do the thing. And whether that is like actually meditating or whether that is just, in your downtime, putting a little bit of energy towards the thing, whatever the thing is. I also think, because we have the 10 of Swords behind it, I also think that would put your mind at ease. Like, I really think that would even help you, like your mindset shift. Also, look, like, isn't this interesting too, that, on the Six of Wands, we're looking at them from this perspective, right? But this could be what is behind this hill. Because there is this person standing there, right? So really, it's like taking the action is what calms your mind. Even to like by going on this path, right? Like this is a lot of like facing your own truths too. This could even be, like I was saying, like taking aligned action, right? Like this is determining what that alignment is and being clear in your mind about what that is. And then the Four of Wands at, behind that, which is again like celebration. Queen of Pentacles behind that. We go from the Page to the Queen. So it's, it's embodying the energy of mastering something, Oh, beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.